I'm Hans for Gaming and welcome to my channel. Before I start giving my impressions of the new Ratchet and Clank video game, I wanna say I used to like the characters and their stories, but how I'm not seeing an evolution on the series or something new, I'm feeling on the need to make this video. Today I'm talking about my impressions so far of the new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart video game. That sadly took me to realize that I'm worried about the series. Why? Let me explain. Narrative. The narrative, it will have the same narrative we've seen on previous games, no change. And as a new game, I was hoping to see a change in the narrative. Story. The story don't seem something new. The concept of the story, we've seen it hundreds of times on films, video games and books. Lack of creativity. The concept, it was so used in movies, books and video games that it could be a bit obvious and predictable. Graphics. The graphics will depend on the console you play on. On PlayStation 5, it won't go on native 4K, so it cannot compete with the Xbox Series X, that it will go on native 4K. Not enough new characters. Soundtrack. The soundtrack or soundtracks from every trailer we've seen so far are not outstanding to make me wanna buy the game. Characters. They are the same old characters and they don't seem to have a change on their personality to make them more interesting and less repetitive or boring. Sony video games are used to be like films, so it won't be a replayable game. Map. The map, it won't be open world, so there won't be much to do. The design of levels will respond only to the story needs, so it may not be as interesting as expected. Objects interaction. The player interaction with objects don't seem to change from previous video games. EA. The intelligence of enemies, don't seem to evolve or change from previous games, so it will be easy to defeat enemies, according to what we've seen so far. Gameplay. The gameplay don't seem to change from previous video games, and it doesn't seem to have a variety of fighting combos. Repetitive gameplay. The absence of fighting combos can lead to a repetitive gameplay. Game as a movie. As PlayStation games are like movies, it's probable that it only has a main story, so there won't be a secondary activities to do. Endgame. Considering this game won't be replayable, we will only be left with the main story and its need to be perfect, so we don't feel like we've wasted our time. Finally, I want to talk about the visual art and character design. Those were the only two aspects of the game I liked. As always, I'd like to hear your opinion on the topic. Let me know what you think on the comments section down below. Thanks everyone for your support and appreciation. This was Hans for Gaming and I'll see you on the next video.